Laura Bennett stood in her spotless kitchen, the scent of fresh coffee curling through the air. Sunlight streamed through the window of their suburban Chicago home, painting the counters gold. At 38, Laura was the picture of quiet strength, dark hair in a neat bun, hazel eyes warm, but tired. For 15 years, she'd been the backbone of her family, raising Emma and Noah, supporting her husband, Mark. As he climbed the ranks as a corporate lawyer, their life looked perfect. A cozy 2-story house, a minivan, vacations to Lake Michigan. But lately, something was off. Mark's glances were cold, his late-night work calls distant. Laura stirred sugar into his coffee, her routine steady as ever when her phone buzzed. A text from her sister Claire. "You okay? Mark's been weird lately." Laura brushed it off. Claire always worried too much. But as she set the breakfast table, Emma, 14, stormed in, backpack slung over one shoulder. "Dad didn't even say bye this morning," she grumbled. Noah, 10, trailed behind, muttering about a missed soccer game. Laura's heart sank. Mark had been their hero, but now he was a ghost, gone before dawn, back after midnight. That night, she waited up, knitting untouched on the couch. At 11 p.m., Mark shuffled in, tie loose, face drawn. "Long day?" she asked, forcing a smile. He nodded, avoiding her eyes, and headed upstairs. Her gaze fell on his briefcase, left open by the door. A receipt peeked out, dinner for 2 at La Rosa, a fancy restaurant they hadn't visited in years. Her stomach twisted. A client dinner, she told herself. But doubt crept in, like a thief. The next day, Laura drove to Mark's downtown office, a surprise lunch in hand. She wore her favorite blue dress, hoping to spark their old warmth. The office was all glass and chrome, buzzing with ambition. At the reception, she saw Sophie, Mark's new assistant secretary. Young, maybe 25, blonde hair sleek, smile confident. Sophie was everything Laura wasn't. "Mark's in a meeting," Sophie said, her tone polite but cold. Laura nodded, clutching the lunch bag, feeling out of place. Back home, unease gnawed at her. She checked their bank account, a habit she'd long abandoned. Her breath caught $2,000 on jewelry, $500 on a hotel suite. Was Mark cheating? That night she faced him. "What's going on, Mark? The late nights? The secrets?" He sighed, rubbing his temples. "It's just work, Laura. You're overthinking." But his eyes darted away. By week's end, the truth hit like a storm. Claire called, frantic. She'd seen Mark at a cafe with Sophie, hands touching, laughing like teenagers. Laura's world tilted. She waited for him that night, hands shaking. When he walked in, she didn't hold back. "Are you with her, Sophie?" His silence was deafening. Finally, he muttered, "I didn't mean for this to happen." Laura's knees buckled. The man she'd loved, the father of her children, had chosen someone else. "How could you?" she whispered, tears burning. Mark packed a bag and left without a word. Laura stared at the life she'd built, crumbling like sand. But as she sat alone, the kids asleep upstairs, her grief turned to fire. She'd been the loyal wife, the perfect mother. But she was more. She was Laura tomorrow. She'd fight for her kids, her heart, her future. Tonight, though, she let herself cry. Rain pattered against the windows, a gray dawn matching Laura's mood. The house felt empty without Mark, though his absence had started long before he left. Emma and Noah sensed it. "Where's Dad?" they asked, their questions like knives. Laura forced a smile, promising pancakes, but her mind churned. How do you explain betrayal to kids? She needed answers, for them, for herself. At the kitchen table, coffee in hand, Laura scrolled through old photos, Mark's arm around her at Noah's soccer game, their Napa anniversary. The memories stung. But they also sparked something fierce. She wasn't just a wife. She'd been a paralegal once, sharp, ambitious. That Laura was still there, buried under years of sacrifice. She called Claire, who arrived in an hour, her fiery energy a lifeline. "You're not alone, sis," Claire said. Hugging her tight, Laura's first step was practical. Money. Mark had controlled their finances, but she wasn't helpless. She dug through bank statements, lingerie, weekend getaways. Each discovery was a knife, but also fuel. She met Rachel, a no-nonsense divorce lawyer. "You've got rights, Laura. He can't just walk away." Rachel's confidence steadied her. Laura wanted fairness, not revenge, for the kids' sake. But the kids struggled. Emma withdrew, phone in hand. Noah clung to Laura, asking if Dad still loved them. She reassured them, hiding her own doubts. At night, she'd lie awake replaying Mark's betrayal. Sophie's smug smile. Anger simmered, but so did resolve. She enrolled in an online paralegal course. The first class was daunting, terms she hadn't used in years, but she pushed through, her laptop glowing in the quiet house. One Saturday, at the park with the kids, a man approached, juggling coffee and a dog leash. "Mind if I sit?" he asked. Tom, a single dad with kind eyes and a disarming laugh. His daughter Lily played nearby. They talked. Kids, life, parenting chaos. For the first time in weeks, Laura felt seen, not as a betrayed wife, but as herself. Tom became a park regular, their chats a bright spot. He was a teacher, steady, the opposite of Mark's flashy ambition. When he asked her for coffee, she hesitated. Her heart was bruised. But Claire urged her on. "You deserve to smile, Laura." The coffee date was simple. A corner cafe, warm drinks, easy talk. Tom listened as she shared bits of her story. His own divorce, he said, taught him resilience. "You're stronger than you know," he told her. She almost believed it. Then drama struck. Mark called, wanting to see the kids. Laura agreed. But when he arrived, Sophie was in his car, her blonde hair unmistakable. Emma saw and exploded. "You're replacing Mom?" She yelled, tears streaming. Noah hid behind Laura. Laura cut Mark off. "This isn't about you anymore," she said, her voice steel. She sent him away, holding her kids close as they cried. The betrayal cut deeper. But it clarified her path. She wasn't just fighting for herself now. For Emma. For Noah. That night at her desk. Her paralegal textbook open. Laura felt a spark. She wasn't the forgotten wife anymore. She was a mother, a woman, a survivor. Tom's words echoed. "You're stronger than you know." As rain tapped the window, hope flickered. The road was long, but she was ready. 6 months later, Laura's life was hers again. Spring bloomed in the Chicago suburbs, and so did she. Her paralegal course was nearly done, and she'd landed a part-time job at Rachel's law firm. The work was tough, motions, research, but it lit a fire in her. She wasn't just surviving. She was thriving. Emma and Noah were adjusting, their laughter returning, though Mark's visits were tense. He'd moved in with Sophie, a fact that stung. But Laura refused to let it define her. Her friendship with Tom grew. He didn't push, just offered quiet support. They'd meet at the park, grab coffee, their kids sometimes tagging along. Emma warmed to Tom's dad jokes, Noah to Lily over soccer. One evening, Tom invited Laura to a school play he was directing. She hesitated. Romance felt risky. But Claire's voice rang out. "Live." Laura, she went in her blue dress, laughing at the kids' earnest performance. Tom's grin infectious. After, under the stars, Tom said, "You're like a light coming back on." Laura's cheeks warmed. She wasn't ready for love. But Tom made it seem possible. "I'm getting there," she admitted. He squeezed her hand. That was enough. Then Mark asked to meet, wanting to renegotiate custody. "Sophie's part of the family now," he said. Laura's blood boiled. At a diner, she faced him, Rachel's advice in mind. Stay firm. Mark looked tired, his charm faded. "I messed up, Laura. Sophie, it's not what I thought." She didn't flinch. "You made your choice, Mark. Live with it." She felt free, untethered from his betrayal. At home, drama flared. Emma found Sophie's scarf in Mark's car and screamed, "She's not my mom!" Laura held her, letting her rage. "You're enough as you are," she told her. Noah hugged her too. Her strength was their anchor. She enrolled Emma in art classes, Noah in soccer. Rebuilding their joy, one Sunday, Tom invited them to a Lake Michigan picnic. The kids ran ahead, laughed. He shared his scars, his ex-wife's abandonment, his fears for Lily. "You make me want to try again," he said. Laura's heart raced. "Maybe we both can," she replied, smiling shyly. By summer, Laura's job was full-time. She moved the kids to a smaller house, painting walls bright colors together. Mark's visits faded, his life with Sophie unraveling. Laura didn't care. Her focus was her family, her work, her growth. When Tom asked her to dinner, just them, she said yes. The Italian restaurant was cozy, their talk endless. When he kissed her cheek goodnight, a spark flared, one she hadn't felt in years. Laura stood in her new home, kids asleep, and looked in the mirror. The woman staring back was stronger, wiser, alive. Betrayal had broken her, but she'd rebuilt herself. Piece by piece, with her kids, her work, and maybe a chance at love. Laura wasn't forgotten. She was unforgettable. Her story was just beginning.